Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakar Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video going into how all these lies about how women are such good people and men are such dogs and men are so wicked and men do things to harm children and all of these kind of things and men are just bad and men this and men that, right? All of that stuff is being put to rest, man, and we're starting to see exactly why the scriptures say all the things that they say in the Bible, man. And I didn't even actually search for this video. I came across it because my phone was on autoplay, right? And as I'm hearing the story, I even have to check myself, because when I heard the story and I wasn't even looking at the screen, I was doing other things while it was playing in the background, right? But as I heard the scenario, I automatically assumed myself that it was a man that did this. And before I even go into the details of this video, I want to say this, man. If you've got any young children out there, any of you people out there, brothers, any of you sisters out there, right? Don't be making your children go to no sleepovers at none of these demons' houses, man. Right? And if you can, and to the best of your ability, don't even let none of these Edomites in your house, man. Right? Because they're a bunch of demons, to tell you the truth. Right? And to even, I'll go even further. Don't even let too many Jake in your house neither, man. If a person don't believe in Yahweh Bar Shem Yahweh Shai, don't even let them in your house. And then even to a certain degree, maybe further than that, there'd be whether you should let people in your house, even in that regard, man. Because Jeremiah said through Yahweh, right, that every brother will utterly supplant, man. And if there's not a necessary need and there's not been a long time of trust put in, there's not even no need for nobody to go into your house anyway, I would say. I'm not no person to be ranked to tell anyone what to do, but if there's not no need for nobody to go to your house, what would be the need for them to go to your house? But in terms of this worldly way, why are you making, why, like, this video just really shows how much of demons women are, man, because the mom, for starters, just let her daughter have a sleepover at somebody's house, right? That she never even met the parents before. And then there was given the father was giving the children alcohol, which already is questionable anyway, according to this video. He gave them alcohol, some of the children in the alcohol, right? But that's not him being a child PDF, because when some of us were younger, right, maybe our family members gave us alcohol when we was younger than the age what this society says you can have wine for the first time, but not younger than the age that Yahweh says you can have wine for the first time. But the reason why this video is even more wicked is because this woman's alphabet and a rainbow, and according to how, if it was men that did these kind of things, they'd be running around calling men PDFs, right? But this video just shows that all the things that women accuse men of, right? They do all those things and more, right? And I'm not trying to be too vulgar with this or too like in detail with this when I'm gonna say what this woman did, but she basically, like at 4 a.m., I think it was 4 a.m. in the night, and she just started groping up people's children, man. Now they're so-called teenagers, but according to this, and Esau, remember Esau is supposed to be the so-called enlightened one, right? According to this society, those are children. According to this society, those are children. But here is, everyone will try and throw dirt on Great Millstone and say Great Millstone are doing this and Great Millstone doing that. You'll have these fake Christians trying to say all of this stuff. You have Esau, wastemans like Volker Malone trying to run with their mouth saying everything that they're saying, right? But the people in the world are always the ones that get caught doing all the things that they're trying to accuse us of doing. Always. These people wish that they had some evidence to try and say that we've did something bad, man. They wish. These people actually almost thirst to try and catch us, to try and catch something that's off about us, that they can try and say, see, I knew that this guy was a demon. I knew that this guy was not righteous. They want something to find. They want to find something, man. But it always ends up showing that it's them that's more wicked than us. And even if we are more wicked than them, just like how Ezra said, right? Surely thy name shall be found nowhere but the children of Israel. And know who else thinks upon your covenants and who else thinks upon your precepts. So no matter how wicked any of you people can say that we are, right? We want to be under the new covenant, though. We call upon Yahweh for forgiveness for the wickedness that we do, though. Can you people say that about yourselves? Do you call upon Yahweh? You think this woman's going to call upon Yahweh by Shem Yahushai for forgiveness for what she did here? I don't think so. I don't think she will. You think she's thinking in her mind, now that she's been caught doing that, oh man, if only I would have been under the new covenant, I wouldn't have been wicked like this. She ain't thinking like that. We think like that, though. We think, man, I want to be under the new covenant so that I can't ever do nothing wrong ever again. But these people don't think like that. I'm getting tired of all this talk about how people try and make out like, oh, men are just this and men are just that. And women try and go around blaming men for all the things that they mostly do. They say that men are the most ones that so-called cheating and all that adultery. No, you are. Because if a woman slept with 10 men in her lifetime, right, and none of them men are unalived, every single time she slept with another man after the first man, that's adultery. It don't matter whether you broke up with them, according to what this world thinks is breaking up. The only real breaking up is being unalived. And the woman's not allowed to unalive the man herself. It has to happen natural. Or if it was to happen as a result of some sin that he committed, that was worthy unto being unalived himself. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how much of a demons these women are, man. And this further proves that most of these women out here, all of them, this isn't even just an attack on the so-called black woman. Most of these women out there are DL themselves. To talk about all these down low brothers and down low men. No, you women are down low. You women are down low. And you're up high. You know what I mean? Women are down low and they're up high, man. They're doing everything under the sun around here, man. Even with the whole Cassie thing, she was calling up people to do her in. She was like, women are always, even when it came to this whole the chief high cheeks situation, man. This ass clapped Hebrew. Wasn't a woman involved in that wickedness? He shouldn't have been able to find a woman to agree to that dirty ass filthy contract, man. He shouldn't have even been able to find one. But as like the scriptures say, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. All this talk about women being so righteous and women being vile creatures on this earth is BS, man. And there's a reason why the scriptures say the things that I'm going to read the scriptures say about women. And give me 1 second. There's a reason why, man. There's a reason why when you go into the Bible, right, it says all the things that it says about women, because she did all that to someone's children, right? And then just falls asleep. And then she wakes up with an attitude like she ain't did nothing. You know what I mean? And I haven't even watched the whole video, but I looked at the comment section and people kept talking about how she kept claiming she's a nurse. She's a nurse. So this is a nurse, a job that a person that's meant to be taking care of people. But when she gets drunk and has a few alcohols, you know what I mean? She's on a mad one and she's like that sober too. But then she'd be quick, a woman like that would be quick to try and accuse men of being this and men of being that. Because what women do, right? And this is what I'm starting to figure out, man. What women do is the same thing that what women do to men is the same thing that Esau does to the Israelites. He blames them and accuses them of all the things that he really does, in the hope that people are going to watch them now, watch the Israelites, so that they don't watch the Edomites. Just like how women accuse men of being this and being that, so in the hope that that the world's gonna watch watch men, and not watch the wicked ass shit that women are doing, man. But Yahweh's been putting a scope on you wicked ass women for a good couple of years now, which is prophecy, many days and years, Shall you be troubled, you careless women, for the vintage shall fail. The government shall not come. So now people ain't trying to take y'all out on dates, and y'all stupid idiots set up TikTok accounts for seeking attention, set up YouTube channels seeking attention to explain why they shouldn't do it. They might have been considering, nah, she's pretty, she's quite pretty actually. I think I might take her out on a date, and then he looks at your Instagram account and sees how much of a hole you are on there, man. How you're on all these yachts, but don't have a salary to even rent one. Seeing you on all these restaurants, but don't have the money to be able to go and eat at these places. So who's taking you there then? And why they're taking you there? What did you have to do? What did you have to give up to be taken to these restaurants? Because you're not just going to be taken there because of how nice of a person you are. Because y'all ain't so charming. Y'all ain't so kind-hearted and so nice as you think you are. But let's get this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets and her hands as bands. That woman in that video, her hands are as bands, man. She there getting drunk, touching up people's utes and that, right? And then catching an attitude and then thinking because she's a nurse that she shouldn't have to get arrested. But what if here's the thing, what if them girls were wicked? What if them young girls looked like Edomites, but they could have been Jakes because they were crying and they didn't want her to do that, and they locked themselves in the bathroom and hid away from her. But that's the kind of that's the kind of way that people normally say that women do to men. And then there'll probably still be some women on the comment board saying, oh, but she's probably the result of a trauma. She's probably the result of something that a man did to her. Well, two motherfucking wrongs don't make a right, Nilla. Like, this world's is real sick, man. Even in the like one of the things I heard one of the brothers say yesterday, is that, man, this kingdom's embarrassing, man. And this is an embarrassing kingdom. This kingdom's a joke. The kingdom of Esau is a complete joke, man. This place is garbage, bro. This is a pile of garbage. Because what's supposed to really happen to that woman, man? You don't want. I don't think some of you people would really be prepared for what's supposed to happen to that woman for what she did. First off, she tried to commit adultery on her husband, so that's already one sin. And then next off, she's alphabeting and rainbowing. So really, what's supposed to happen, man, is some big stones, yeah, are supposed to be in a pile, and then people are supposed to play baseball and become baseball pitchers and pitch them stones towards her without her having a baseball bat. Right, I'll just say it like that, man. But this society don't allow nothing like that. And when I finish watching the video, I guarantee that she's probably not going to get no real time. But if it would have been a man that did it, then he would be getting a lot of time. But we'll see what happens in it. We'll see, man. Verse 27, behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I found not. So I'm not trying to say that we're righteous as men down here, right? But we're more righteous than these women, man. Even though we're wicked ourselves, we're more righteous than these women on this earth, man. Truly we are. Because all the things that women could try and ever accuse any of you brothers out there for doing, yeah, she'd have did most of those things and some other things that you can't even do because you're a man and she's a woman. So women will accuse a man of lying, right? Women will accuse men of lying and stuff like that. Oh, he lied and cheated on me. But they'll lie, cheat on a man as well. So that's the same crime. But then they'll make that man raise her child for 18 years. So then that's now also theft added on to the lie. And then they'll actually have the nerve to have an attitude when they get caught committing adultery. Why did you go for my phone? You know what I mean? Why did you go for my phone? What you doing going for my phone? That's what they'll say in this society, man. There's plenty of videos out there on the internet with these women doing that. Oh, you're trying to say you don't love him now. Does it even matter if he's not yours? Does it matter? What made you go and get a DNA test? You know what I mean? Not I'm guilty. No, what you researching for and looking out for yourself and trying to see if I'm wicked for. And that's why most of these filthy harlots on this in this society are against mandatory paternity testing. Oh, it's intrusive for the baby. It's intrusive for the baby, but I'm gonna make sure that the baby gets every single dosage that the doctor's trying to offer him in them vaccines, though, huh? But I care about the baby's health. It's intrusive for the baby. Yeah, right, man. Y'all care about covering your tracks and the world not knowing how much of a hole you are, man. Let's just be real in life. All the lies and the BS that you people spew out there all the time. Let's just be real, man. If it was to do a competition between who's the most wicked, women would win every single time. Every time they'd win. Because they're just wicked, man. Even the TV shows that they like, and the TV show, like most of these new TV shows that they're promoting, right? Are like, and the hypocrisy, and it's hypocrisy. It will be some woman that's older committing adultery on her husband, and they'll try and push out like the husband's some evil guy, and the other guy's nicer to her or whatever, right? But that's first off promoting adultery, right? And then when these women in these movies do that with these younger people, and I'm not on about younger like prepubescent, I'm on about just like a man in his 20s, they'll put in a movie or something like that, right? The women that watch the movie will be like, yeah, you go girl and all that. But then when it happens to a man, when a man does that in either a movie or in real life, they always got a problem, which shows that they're really all the things that women complain about us doing as men, they want to do all of them. They really want to do all those things, and that goes to a phrase known in this world called penis envy, where women really envy the role that a man has on this earth and are desiring to try and have it. And that's why they don't care about men being LG free T, because as most women don't really look at a LG free T man as an actual man. They understand he's a man, but they don't really look at him like he's a man though. They know he's a man because he's GAY, but they don't really look at him like he's a man actually. They're more likely to treat a stud like an actual man than a LG free T man. Bogged out, man. Verse 28, yet which my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I not found. He couldn't find a righteous woman. Do you understand? King Solomon, yeah, who would have been a trillionaire in his time, couldn't even make, the women couldn't even pretend to be righteous. They couldn't even pretend, man. Not even one of them could have really actually humbled themselves to actually truly be righteous in front of him. Not one of his women that he had. Not one of them could have been like, man, this guy is a trillionaire, literally. The wealth that you read about King Solomon having, he would have been easily a trillionaire, definitely a billionaire, but potentially a trillionaire a couple of times over. He was literally the most powerful man in the world at that time, man. The Israelites were ruling the earth, and he was the top one. And the women couldn't humble themselves to him. So don't be too. I guess that's a sign to not be too disheartened in this world if you find yourself getting into some shit with a woman every now and again, man. Because even King Solomon couldn't find no peace. Let's get this scripture, man. Like it's actually very angering, man, when you hear women run their mouth about all these things, but women don't ever correct women. Like had the police not have showed up in this situation, yeah, I wonder what the women involved would want to do. If women had to decide what you're supposed to do to somebody like that, I wonder what they'd want to do. I almost can guarantee they'd know what they think should be done if a man does it. But if it would have been if even if it would have been like a teenage boy that this woman did that to, right? They wouldn't have got as angry. The mom wouldn't have got as angry about it, I guarantee, as if it's a girl, because the world tries to make out like women are just some innocent people every single time, which in this situation they was. But in every single situation on earth, women are not just innocent. Most of the time, they're the ones starting it. Most of the time, they're the ones that are at the root of the problem, man. And people say, "Oh, you blaming women for everything in life." Well, watch this, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 25 verse 24, of the woman came the beginning of sin. So yeah, women are at the root of it, man. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, through her or we all die. Now, most of you simps out there, when you hear that get said, you're gonna, so Adam was guiltless? So Adam was guiltless and isn't to blame for his part? Shut up, man. Shut your mouth, bro. Because when it's on the women, how about you let it linger there? Don't try and make it be about men all the time. Because women are the majority of people on the earth. In fact, women are the majority of the population. And just because, okay, let's say men are wicked as well, then, which I agree, does that excuse what wickedness women do? Oh, if men did what they were supposed to be doing, then women wouldn't be doing what they were supposed to be doing. So should this man have been doing to stop his wife from doing that? Then what are you people gonna say? Or if he wasn't hitting it right, how do you know? The woman's an L for starters, so he doesn't even have the right equipment to please a demon like that. But hey, verse 25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad. And that's why women are supposed to be bound, man. And I don't mean like lock them away, but they're supposed to be like kept away from their own wicked selves, man. That scripture is basically saying keep women away from how wicked they are themselves. They ain't supposed to just be given freedom to go on no girls night out gallivanting in the cities, just running their mouth, getting drunk, and then now they're drunk. Now a drunk woman, like, and this is what I mean. This world's just that dangerous, man. Because a woman can go out, yeah, and get as drunk as she wants, right? And now everyone else, that especially the men, everyone else that's also drunk and might have got as drunk as they want now. And when you're under the influence of alcohol, you don't act necessarily according as you would normally. But and now, if that man that's drunk however he wanted to, and the woman that's drunk how much ever she wanted to, end up sleeping together, and then the woman wakes up and she looks at the guy and she's like, well, I wouldn't have did this if I was sober, right? Now that can be considered R word. So if you're gonna have a society like that, then you should be making restrict women's alcohol usage. Then, if you're gonna be doing that, the women's alcohol usage should be getting restricted, but it don't get restricted though, does it? Because Esau is running a society that basically uses women like as nets. Like the scriptures literally say, a woman's heart is snares and nets. But a woman's literally, in Esau's way, how he's used them to become a net to catch men. He literally uses them as a human net to catch men, and then any man can be caught in a snare by them, man. And I personally, I can't prove this particular thing that I'm going to say here, but I personally think within the whole Hollywood celebrity world that they have modeling agencies, man. Because the amount of time that this stuff goes down, where all these guys get caught up with a scandal with women, I personally think that they have modeling agencies or things that are under the guise of being a modeling agency, and really they're hiring women to catch men that have got bare money, and then they give them a percentage or whatever. I personally think that something like that must be going on, man. That you can call that a conspiracy theory if you want. I'm not saying that it's definitely true, but with how often these men always be getting caught in a scandal, and then they always got these women always just magically find pretty much the same lawyer. There's got to be some kind of, you know what I mean? There's got to be something going on in this whole celebrity world, man. There's got to be. Verse 19, all wickedness but little to the wickedness of a woman, that the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And it's just mad. Like, every single time when you see women accusing men of things, oh, women would never do that. Women, they always end up getting caught doing it. They literally always do it, man. They're promoting all these movies, women dealing with younger men, and then you're seeing these female teachers doing that. So it's almost like which everything's spiritual in the scriptures anyway. I mean, everything in this world. Let me say it like this, man. Everything in this world is spiritual, right? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, right? And in these movies, they promote these kind of things. They promote women with women in these movies. They promote women sleeping with younger men in these movies. But the younger men that they want to try and deal with, the ones that might be in their 20s and that, they don't want them. So then in order to try and feel that stuff that they be seeing in that movie, they'll go to the ones that are their teenager. That's what some of these women are doing, man. But that's a spirit that's put out there, and that's not excusing them. Because if a man has to be blamed for that kind of stuff, then so does a woman. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And these movies are used to promote out the agendas that Esau wants to push out there. That's why you got everyone always talking about how they eat ASS all the time. People are just always talking about that. You got these street interview people, and they all say that will be one of their street interview questions, and then they'll try and look at the person sideways if they don't want to do it. And it's like, well, you don't need to do that, so why would you? Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand, standing therefore with your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Yahweh, praying always with all prayer and supplication in spirit, and watching hereunto with perseverance and supplication for all saints. And that's going into not just praying for yourself, man. If you think someone could potentially be of the elect, right, then pray for them then. Unless you think that your prayer don't have no value. Because Yahweh Shai prayed for Peter, right? And the people that you might say, oh, now I'm not praying for somebody. If they're of the elect, they're of the elect. Well, okay. Why should they pray for you then? If you end up going through a bad time, should you be prayed for? Do you deserve? Isn't the Lord's Prayer everyone praying for each other, not just themselves? Let's get this, man. Because these women, man, they're demons, bro. Like, these people try and make it like, oh, y'all incels, y'all just saying things, mate. Whatever y'all want to say. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 8 and verse 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Because women need to hear these things, man. Like, they actually don't really have the day of the Lord is Jacob's trouble, right? But it's also the day of the Lord could also be called a day when women have to get accountability finally, man. The day of women's accountability too, man. Because they're going to truly be humbled in a major way when this day comes, because they're not gonna be able to get away with any of the things that they've been able to get away with now. Men don't really get away with nothing in this society really too much. Even younger men and then like teenagers and that, they don't get away with nothing in this world really. Because some other man will humble them and put them in check if they start getting too far out of line. But women are able to get away with a lot of madness, and other women let other women slide. They don't even know. Women don't even really know how to judge any situations, man. They don't know. They wouldn't have a clue. They're always just looking for an excuse on what to do, an excuse on how can I somehow blame this on men? How can I somehow make this be a man's fault? What can I say? What can I do? It's lucky, man. I'm gonna end the video there, man. I don't want to talk about this topic anymore, man. Women are just bugged out, man, and they're gonna get jacked up in the day of Yahweh's wrath. Shalom.